Hey gang, Ronin here. Welcome on back to the channel. It is Monday, and that means we are carrying on with episodes 49 and 50 today. I can't believe we've hit the half-century mark for a first-time playthrough of Final Fantasy VI for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. If you've been enjoying the content so far, best way you can show it, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Also, don't forget, we have Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday every weekend, where we play a sports game on Saturday and a fighting or fighting platform-based game on Sunday. We played PGA Tour Golf on Saturday to commemorate the Masters, and it both went great and didn't go well. And then on Sunday, we played the original Samurai Showdown for the SNK Neo-Geo, and that was a fun trip down memory lane to one of my favorite fighting games of the era that wasn't Street Fighter 2. So, also follow us on Twitter at Retrocade. Help us if you can, spread the word. We're trying to hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as we can. The sooner we do that, obviously, the faster I will stop asking you guys to help us out. But I promise it's not for my ego. We're doing it purely because it helps unlock the YouTube customization algorithm. You have to hit 100 subscribers to make that happen, and then that will allow me to make this channel even bigger and better. So, with all that usual Monday housekeeping out of the way, where are we? Well, when we left you on Friday, we were actually able to get quite a bit done. We went through the Triangle Cave dungeon and picked up our final member of the party in Go-Go the Mimic. Then what I said I was going to be doing over the weekend is I went out and I did a little bit more Velt farming. I got a few more skills for Gao, fleshed out a few more Magirock abilities to get the magic rounded out for our main hitters here, who are Mash the Monk, Tina our Magic Warrior, Edgar our Machinist. Still a creep, I don't care what he says. With Gao, I've kind of scaled back on his magic ability because we've been using his rage feature so much, because it allows him to do basically the same things without expending HP, or MP I should say. So I haven't really had to worry about teaching him level 3 spells. We also went to the Coliseum and did a little bit of farming there. We picked up a couple of things we needed for our secondary characters. And what we can do today is we need to be able to go to find what's called the Ancient Castle, which was actually buried under the original Figaro Castle. Doing that means we've got to find the castle for one, and if I remember right, it is up in the vicinity of Kolingen, up in this desert. And it's right there. So, it won't be hard to get to because we can climb over all this gray rock to get there. But what I would want to do first is I want to do a quick little bit of shopping over here in Kolingen, which I know is around here somewhere. That's the Coliseum. I don't want that. There we go. There's a problem when you take a couple days off from playing, and it's even weird because I was actually farming before I started up today to try and get a few more things. One of the things I'm going to be able to do also is take Go-Go, our Mimic, and hopefully be able to go around to different areas on the map. I'm not going to do it during game time because there's really no point to it. But to be able to get some items that we could hopefully be able to steal, because we don't have Locke yet. Because he's still not in the party, we've got to be able to get some stuff that will hopefully make life a little bit easier for everybody going forward. And some of the things that we can steal is we can finally find, hopefully, some ribbons. But to do that, we have to take on some of the most dangerous enemies in the game, which are over in the Dinosaur Forest, which is to the north of the Veld. And they are the Brachiosaurs. And knowing my, granted, now very aged and somewhat outdated history of dinosaurs, as a big dinosaur kid growing up, Brachiosaurs are some of the largest dinosaurs ever found in existence. They are truly colossal creatures. They are larger than what we understood to be the other big dinosaurs of my childhood, which were brontosaurs and ones like that. But if you follow science at all, you understand that the whole thing about the brontosaur was pretty much fiction from the word go. So it's hard to really differentiate between what's real and what isn't. But once we get into the the castle, we're going to have a bit of boss battles to be able to take on, and one of them is going to be against a Master Tonberry right out the gate. So we have to make sure we are fully decked out, which is why I came here and got some diamond armor. Well, let's see. To get to the ancient castle, it looks like we're going to be taking on enemies that have extreme amounts of magic defense. So really having Strago, Gogo, and Realm, no point. Having Cayenne and Amaro, they're really not that going to be that helpful. Even Terra and Celis may not be that great. So having the main party be our physical hitters, being Edgar, Gao, Mash, and potentially even Shadow, or even Mog, could be more beneficial here. And also even Setzer. I keep forgetting that we have him in the party. So we need to head to Figaro Castle. Actually, before I do that, let me adjust the party here. Now that I'm thinking about it. So it looks like we are going to be fairly guy-centric in this one. But this will also give me a chance to help level up Setzer a little bit more, because right now, as you can see, he's only level 34. And I'm thinking I should give him at least a magic shield, if not something a little bit better. But otherwise, the Genji armor is good for magic defense, so the Kappa armor is a little bit better for magic defense. It drops his standard defense so much that it's really not worth it. And I should also give him the intense darts, because those are insta-kill weapons, and it looks like anything that is in here is not necessarily undead. And that could be helpful too. So we have to ride it back to Figaro, and then on the way we should be asked if we want to do a little bit of exploring, which means if I want to ride it back to Figaro, I need to go this way, down the stairs. Now, we could have found this out earlier if we had been willing to pay. Run up against something. Yeah, if we had paid at the Fanatics Tower, there was a guy who offered to tell us all this information for 100,000 gil, and there was no way I'm spending 100,000 gil on anything. So what we need to do is we need to go to the prison and go through the back, and this should lead us into the area of the ancient castle. Now, before I do anything, I should also make sure he is decked out in the usual attire of poison protection. I don't know if we need to worry about Kappa in this yet. I suppose that'll be... I'll worry about that as I get to it. Let's see, and the wind mantle... Oh, that's right. The wind mantle is what allows us to evade more attacks, and that's actually working really well for Gao. I've noticed that. Since we're taking on a Master Tonberry, I want to make sure that these guys can get as much poundage in as possible. Alright, well, let's see what we find here. So that looks like it did wound damage. Oh, and it's casting water on us. Wow. Okay, that hits pretty hard. I should also make sure... Yeah, he doesn't have one yet. What has he not learned yet? Yeah, Setzer hasn't learned quite a lot. He has to learn Reflect. He needs most of this stuff, so I'll give him Carbuncle. Okay, so this chest that we're seeing is the Master Tonberry. Now he has 22,000 hit points. He's elementally resistant to water. He has no weaknesses. He's vulnerable to dark, poison, sleep, and slow. And it looks like what he does is that after about 15 seconds of battle, he will just go ahead and start casting spells on himself that make him defensive against a particular element. Alright. Or no, this is the Wing Edge. Okay. So the Wing Edge is a weapon we can utilize for Shadow. These things do not muck about. Alright, let's see what we can do here. It takes care of Satan. Wow, it absorbed quite a bit. But this should take it out. Okay. Setzer leveled up, which is useful. He needs to do that. Okay. This must be where the Master Tonberry is. Alright. Let's see here. Let me top offsets really quick. And give Mash a little bit more. Still got 84 regular potions. I should burn those. Again, standard rule, you don't want to utilize your high potions too much if it means you can use your lesser potions and top off your characters. So, here we go. Oh, no, we got the Turbo Ether. Okay. Well, then where the heck is this Tonberry? Let's see where it is. There's Punisher. I'm liking Punisher because it's allowing me to cast accelerated haste. We cast level 3 haste on something and it also lets us cast Thundaga on stuff. Uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I have to remember stuff in here is reflective. I'm getting a little bit of healing. And Mash leveled up. Aha. Okay, so we move around this way. There we go. So about Sports Saturday, like I said, because the Masters was taking place this last weekend, and I do admit that when I pick the games that I play on the weekend, I do so with a certain degree of snark. Insofar as I want to have fun with the games that I play, but also if there's a particular theme or aspect of it that I can utilize to have a little fun with those features, then I'm going to take advantage of that. Why not? You know, it's my channel. I don't want to get too crotchety and get off my lawn sort of thing, but in some ways it's my prerogative to be able to do that. But when I sat down to play PGA Tour Golf on Saturday, it's a game that I'm not exactly great at, and because of it, it is usually a case of I will play it in my spare time when I'm feeling up to it and not do terribly, but the last thing I was expecting to have happen on Saturday was for me to start out and suddenly find myself becoming Tiger Woods. But that's exactly what happened. My goal was to just get through the first round of the tournament that we played, and usually by that point it means I'm doing okay, but inevitably something is going to happen that causes me to get completely wiped out. Ooh, death card. Can I use this for... I can. Nice. So we just got Setzer's ultimate weapon. But anyways, I was saying, you know, I got through the first round. I was thinking, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll play for another 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And then it just kept going. And it wasn't just that I kept doing well. It was I got myself into the lead of the tournament. And I could have pulled the ripcord in hindsight right about there and said, okay, well, I got through a first round and this is pretty good. The only problem is I had not gotten used to winning that much in this game that I almost felt I got superstitious. And like I said on Saturday, golfers are some of the most superstitious people you will ever meet in sports. Even more so than baseball players. Baseball players are notoriously superstitious about everything. So I kept going, and what was supposed to be just a 30-minute jaunt, for lack of a better term, ended up being an hour and 25-minute marathon where I ended up winning the entire tournament, I think by 6 shots. Which I have, in the 30 years I had played PGA Tour golf for the Sega Genesis, I should say. Get my systems right here. I don't remember a time where I could just sit down, turn it on, start playing, go 4 rounds, and immediately win. It usually would get to a point where I could do well through the first round or the first 2, or maybe even get to the first 3 rounds. But I always had to make sure that I had a save state or a save game available, because I was going to pull a tin cup and lead me to just getting knocked out of the leaderboard, if not entirely out of any contention for winning the tournament at all. So yeah, that's kind of what happened on Saturday. It was one where I on the one hand, I was really happy and I was excited about it, but at the same time, it was a matter of, if this could have happened at any other time when I was playing this silly game, I think I'd feel a lot better. So I may very well expect that nobody watches that game or watches that video. And if so, I mean, that's totally on me, and I again, it's my content, I'll own up to it. In the meantime, we had Setzer cast a complete instant death on somebody, and then the other 2 get taken out. Okay, this has to be the Tonberry. If it's sitting here like that, this has got to be it. So, hopefully... Yep, here we go, Master Tonberry. And just like everything else, we gotta hit him early and often. Okay, and he does counter damage equal to the number of steps we've taken. This is not healthy. And there's the barrier change. So what we need to keep doing is just hitting him with... Uh-oh. Please block that. It didn't. But just that quickly, we took care of the Master Tonberry. So Edgar's not going to get the benefit of it, but everybody else lived through it. We found a Gladius. Okay. Well, first things first. Let me resurrect Edgar here. I'm almost inclined, because I have so many of them, just to use a tent instead. I should have done that. I have 25 of them. And actually, I can't, because I'm not at a save point. Let's see. Sort this out really quick. The Gladius offers a little bit more in terms of evasion and a lot more in terms of attack. Whereas I should really be still using the enhanced sword instead of the break blade. But the break blade gives you a chance for instant death, which in here, again, or the partisan. Yeah, I'll do that instead. So what is through this door? That's where we came in that way. So we go around and under. And making sure we've got the heavy hitters in here. Well, that didn't help much. Whiffed on the zap. I'm still whiffing on the battle dance, which I really can't afford to be doing right now. There we go. Take out one of them. And the auto bow gun, for still being something we had all the way back in the beginning of this game, it's the fact that it's proportional. Uh-oh. That's gonna take out Setzer. But that it's proportional damage to where we're at now is still a really good thing. Now just don't be casting level 5 death again and we'll be fine. And you whiffed on it one more time. There. I needed Setzer to be able to heal. 1, so I can get him close to leveling up, and 2, I need him to still be able to learn. Or has he learned everything with Carbuncle already? Nope, he's not there yet, but that's going to help. Alright, so we come down this way. Nothing over there. So now I feel silly for coming over this far. Let's see. Yeah, that zap hits like a brick. He's been slimed. Alright, this time we pull it off. Get the Figaro lizard gone. Now we're cooking. Okay. Sets to learn haste. Egger levels up. Oh. Okay. Well, where the heck do we go? I do like that auto death in this dungeon does not bring anything back. Or at least not so far that I've seen. That's been the problem we've had with insta-death weapons until now. Okay, so we don't go up this way. Ah. Okay, there's a wall off to the... Quickly takes care of that. Off to the right, so I was going the right way. And in this case, I didn't realize that the guard attack, which is pretty much the primary one we've been using for Gao for so long, was going to be this helpful. Because it does just a straight physical damage. And that on top of the auto bow gun. Now we're really, really rocking here. So since we are now just over a half an hour, I think what we'll do is we'll make sure we're heading the right way for one. And then when we do, we'll go ahead and call it good for this episode, and then in episode 50 we'll move on to another sub-boss that in a lot of ways we have the option to fight. Level has been halved. I hope that is not permanent. It isn't. Okay, so I think it's just for that fight. But we need to fight him because it will give us one of the best items in the game. I just need to take out these three. And then we should be all set. Goodbye. That's anything divisible by level 4. Ooh. So Setzer took the brunt of it, but he comes back and casts Death, and Satan is dead. That's only fitting. Okay, so we'll stop it here because we're at 35 minutes. In the meantime, I'll heal everybody up and get ready for the next part of the quest in this dungeon of the Ancient Castle. But if you've been enjoying the content so far, again, the best way you can show it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Remember, we got Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday coming up this weekend, and I promise we will not be playing a golf game again on Saturday for a very, very long time. Follow us on Twitter at @RetroCade. Help us hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as possible to unlock that pesky YouTube algorithm. And then if there's any game you'd like to see us feature from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th generation, leave it in the comments below or drop me a tweet. As always, my name is Ronin, and I will talk to you in episode 50 of our Final Fantasy VI walkthrough. Bye.